Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jules. Thanks for coming back to another end of year spectacular. We have seen the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, and I think almost every year I'm like, I'm so excited about the new year, but really like this year I am excited because everything's aligning in my opinion. So, in case you did not, I am not only somebody who loves cross stitch and loves to cross stitch, but I'm also a pattern designer. I have my stores at stitchingjewelsdesign.com as well as same name on Etsy. And I've been around for about 4 years now designing, but my channel's been around for almost 10, I think, at this point, over 9 for sure. But you'll see that I got a new backdrop, and hopefully this will be like the backdrop that I use sort of for quite a while, I think. So this is our new couch here, and it's very comfortable, and it's just, I love it. So I wanted to start off by showing you guys all the stuff that has been framed and stitched and framed this year, all my, we'll call them FFOs, fully finished objects. I'm going to start off with one that this monochrome owl project I actually forgot to include in last year's end of year. I finished it and then just forgot to put it in the end of year. So not only is it going to make it into this end of year, but it's also going to come in as a framed project. And here it is. Got my my good old monochrome owl. Now this is the larger version of it. I don't remember how many stitches it is, but I don't think it, right now, I don't think it matters because it's just super awesome and I love it. And in case you're wondering, I got the mats and the frames from a place called Matboard and More online. It makes it really easy because I can order a frame to match the dimensions that I want. They cut it, I get the double matting to make it look even better. And yeah, I love it. It came out great. I just finished framing it. So good stuff there. Let me put that over here. I also framed some little ones. I got my octopus, my mini octopus finally framed, and that one also came out pretty well. And I'm grateful that although I can see the reflection in my, well, the camera that's right here, not really the camera, but just to see what I'm looking at. I'm seeing like the reflection. I have a TV like right behind the camera, and I'm seeing anyway, I'm seeing double reflections, triple reflections, but anyway, so this is my mini octopus that I did and finally got framed. So that one came out nice. I really like how that looks. I like all my little mini projects because I have another mini, my mini chipmunk, my little mini chipmunk. And this was definitely like only about, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 stitches. It was pretty quick stitch, did not take long at all. And you guys can see it there. And I did it on 25 count with half stitch. So I do that. You don't have to do it this way, but I do it because I get through my finishing my projects faster, and I just feel like it still looks really great. It just looks great. It looks just as great as 18 count, you know, 2 over, you know, full cross stitch kind of thing. So, but there's the chipmunk, and we've got a bigger one. Got the gnome, got the grumpy gnome framed, and that one again I like. Got this dark greenish forest green kind of matting material to go with this lighter 25 count. Yeah, it was 25 count, kind of a tannish, very, very light tan fabric. But there's my grumpy gnome. He came out super awesome. I did him again. I did him in half stitch. So if you're at all worried about, well, what will it look like? Well, it's all about coverage of your fabric. So if you use a smaller square, you don't need as much floss to cover that square. So that's where 25 count. For me, I love 25 count and half stitching. So yay, that one came through nice. And my first color project that I finished up here, and this was my Colorado mountains, the Rocky Mountains basically, but this is really the state flag emblem with the big, it's kind of like a big C with the yellow in the middle, but my little Rocky Mountains one that I did. And I have a small one. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. This teeny little teeny beanie. Oh, looks like the fabric's a little, it's just something in the thing. But I found this tiny little frame so I could frame this tiny little flag. And so got that one done as well. I love it. And then one of the more recent ones that I finished was this, I call this Together. It's a mini monochrome, and it came out really nice. It did. I got to remember to put more space around my people, around my projects when I frame them. It just makes it easier for me, but to frame. But it was kind of a framing explosion that kind of happened. I did have frames that ultimately I bought and they didn't fit properly because I found out, well, I remembered that you should only measure your project for framing after you have washed and ironed it. And I think I did it. I know I definitely did it. I measured it before I ironed it, and I should have done that. So they came in like a little too small, which is fine because I have those frames. I'll have plenty of use for those in the coming year. But so like one that I didn't, well, this one I did because I got kind of aggressive and impatient with trimming back my fabric, which I know you're like, why would you trim your fabric back on this beautiful little mini elephant? And part of it is just because when I'm framing, I don't need, the way that I frame, I don't need like all this extra fabric. It just makes it a little harder. And honestly, I just made some mistakes when I cut this one out. So not a big deal. I'll you know, it'll look great once I get the proper frame for it. But that was another one that got done, but not necessarily framed there. And then another one that got done, but not framed was the frog. Because again, I chose too small of a thing to kind of, you know, get that in there. So too small a frame. But anyway, so that one's going to come shortly. And then I finished my bigger project, which is my Old Salem Apothecary Sign. Now this one is 18 count, and I did 2/1 full cross stitch. It took me so long to do this. Now, granted, it looks amazing, and I know it looks amazing, but man, it took me so long to do this that I'm like, oh, do I really want to? I mean, for the projects that I have to do going forward, I really don't want to do full cross stitch because my goal is to get as much done as I can, and I just like the look of the 25 count. So that's just as how that goes. So I think that's it. I think that's it in terms of things that have been finished. For some reason, I felt like I got a lot more done. So I'm going to have to, once I finish this part of the video, I'm going to have to go back and double check and make sure that I'm not missing some things that I just haven't framed yet. So I'll have to do that. But I wanted to show you guys some of the things that I'm still working on. Something that I should have finished, but I hadn't, was the Rainy Water Replace. But before I do that, I'm going to show you guys where I am with my, this particular piece is Garden of the Gods, park here in Colorado, southern Colorado, and I'm still working on it, still trying to finish it. And again, because it's 2/1 full cross stitch, sorry, getting some Happy New Year's. Happy New Year, everybody. But I got that part done, and this is to kind of go along with all the other Colorado stuff that I'm doing, trying to get a bunch of Colorado patterns done for specific purposes, which I'll talk about at another time. Where was that other one? Oh, back here. And then this one is the Brown Palace Hotel here in Denver. And you can hardly tell what it is just yet because I haven't gotten very far on it. So, not usually do a lot of brown, but this is like a vintage photo that's based on. So, but it will come out awesome when it gets there. And then Rainy Waterloo, which is the one that I was like, oh man, I really tried to finish it. I tried to get closer on it. I'm like 4,500 stitches away, but, oops, almost knocked my drink over. But here it is in all its glory. You can see what just little spot I have left. And honestly, I was looking at last year's, let me pull this up so you can see better. I was looking at last year's, what do you call it, like end of year video, and I showed this, and honestly, like, I should have finished it this year. I should have focused on this a lot more. I could have gotten a finish on it, but I spent so much time on Old World Map 2. Now this one is not my design, it's Cross Stitch Collectibles, but anyway, so, but again, it's like full cross stitch, so it just takes me longer to do. And so we're going to come to the part where we talk about Old World Map 2, and this is going to disappoint a lot of people, I think, but surprise maybe no one, I don't know. I've got to stop working on it. I just can't. it takes up, it's so big and it takes up so much time that it will really, like, I'm not saying that I'll never come back to it, but I'm certainly not going to be trying to focus on it at any point, because I've got, I really want to make the stores a success, and I want to, stitch out my own stuff, and I just can't justify spending time on it just as yet, because I have so many other things to do. So maybe someday I'll get back to it, but it is gonna kind of go in a little spot, go in a little bag, and kind of hibernate for a while. So, but yeah, I kind of didn't expect that at the beginning of the year when I was all gung-ho. But to be perfectly honest, like, when I'm looking at how to best manage my time, doing that is the best way to manage my time. So so yeah, there's that one. And I got a lot of stitching done on that one too. I mean, I got like, I came really close to matching my goal of getting like, reaching like 100,000 stitches for the project, when it's like a 670,000 stitch project. I think I don't know, I had like 20,000 stitches this year at least. I don't know, I did a lot. So, but I really need to focus on the stuff that I need to focus on, which is my stuff. So, I know that's the channel has changed so much since I became a designer, but it's for the better for me. And, I hope, some of you new folks that are coming in, that you really enjoy it and that you like the patterns that I do. And, because I know there's not a lot of folks out there that, stitch what I stitch, and design what I design, but I got to do a better job of videos. And I say that every year, but I do. Let me talk for a bit about the store. So about the business, the design business. There are 3 patterns. This is so much more comfortable than that. That hurts. The 3 most popular patterns. Still, number 1 is the library, the monochrome library project. It's still by far the most popular pattern that I've done. The second one is the walkway. The walkway has been very, very popular. And then the third one is one that came out, I can't remember if it was the end of last year, the beginning of this year, probably the end of last year, and it was the Tree of Life, and the big monochrome one. So, so that one, I mean, that I'm not surprised. That one looks really, really great, and I do want to stitch that for sure. But I don't know how many patterns per se that I put up on the store. I know that it was at least 200. I think my goal was 250, and I'm pretty confident that I did over 200. I don't have a great way of measuring that. As far as I can tell, I can't see a way to note like when certain patterns are published, and search for them that way so that I can just count them. So, but definitely a lot. The stitchingjewelsdesign.com has gone through big redesigns. I still probably am going to redesign it even further. I just got to keep kind of changing it. I think the homepage is a bit overwhelming when you come to it. It's got all the big pictures of the different categories and whatnot, but I feel like if I explain better, like how big they are, if they're that complicated, I just need to I need to put more work into the website and kind of fill it out a lot more. So I think that would be good. Yeah, and then on Etsy, just continue to put the patterns up, just patterns, as much as I can. I would really like to get to a point where I can figure out a system for myself that I can post regularly on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not a TikTok poster, and who knows what's going to happen with TikTok anyway here in the next couple of weeks. But if something changes for the positive, maybe I'll start posting back again on that, site. But for now, I think most of my audience is either on Instagram or Facebook. So what else? So I got a lot of that stuff done. I've been focused on a lot of that. I keep coming back around to the idea of would I ever do another show? Would I do Nashville? Would I do the North-South conference I had to pull out of because of a variety of health issues and other things that happened. But I keep wondering, like, if I had something that I could market directly to consumers, that would be something that I might consider. And I might even consider like doing the mini what do you call it? The mini shows, like the online shows and whatnot. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to know what would do best, but I still think that my future as a digital, like an online store, is probably the best way, and it's probably the thing that will, I don't know, be the best thing for the store in the long run. So, trying to see what time it is. We got to run out this morning, run a few errands. Even on the first, I was looking at my hair at the end of last year, and my hair was just still so long. It was kind of flat and long, and now I've kind of poofed it up a little bit. It needs a haircut, but oh well. Personally, a lot of things changed this year. We moved, and the place we moved to is really cool. A lot smaller than the old place, but a lot better for us. A lot less stuff to work on and to worry about and to think about. We got Bodie, our dachshund, who's appeared in a number of videos, but I don't want to get him up because he's super comfortable by the fire right now. It's a little gas fireplace. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of things, and a lot of things personally changed. As far as my health is concerned, I did have that big back fusion surgery in February. And that was successful in terms of getting the sciatica to go away and to get my back down there feeling a lot better. But other health problems popped up and creeped up, and we're still trying to get answers to a couple of them. For the most part, everything looks pretty good, but there is just some nagging issues with the swelling in my legs, and we think we've narrowed it down to a specific issue, but as soon as we can get insurance to say, okay, yes, you can have that test done, then I think we'll get a firm diagnosis and then a quick little procedure, and then boom, and then hopefully that'll be, if I can get the swelling in my legs down, things will be like really great, like baseline great, where I can start working and doing more things. So that would be awesome. It's probably a shorter end of year video than I've had, primarily just because I'm not scatterbrained as much as I used to be, but maybe I am, who knows. But you know, it's just, maybe I'm just being more succinct in what I tell you guys, as far as I'm not maybe sharing as much as I used to all the time, and some of that's just because of just trying to be a bit more private with certain things. But I will definitely let you guys know about like my health issues when I finally get a diagnosis and kind of know. But let's just say that as hard as 2024 was for us, and it was a hard year, make no mistake. Looking back at my videos from a year ago, I'm all like bright and chipper and like, woo, everything's great, you know? And then I thought the surgery was going to be like, everything's going to be fine, and then physically I'll be great. And then I started having more problems with my legs in a different way. And then as the spring kind of hit, just stuff kept happening, and just bam, bam, bam every month. But we have ended the year very strong, and I keep saying it, I'm like as happy as I've ever been right now. I just am. I'm just happy in so many different ways. It's just things have really settled in for us, and I feel like we have a good base to kind of build from. And next month will be the 10th anniversary of our first date, my husband and I's first date. So can't wait for that. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I could talk about a lot of other things, but now that I have the couch, I'm actually kind of contemplating whether or not I'll do a stitch with me's on occasion now, because it's a lot more comfortable than the way that I used to do it. So we'll see. We've only had the couch for a week, I think, so I'm still trying to get used to it, trying to figure out how to stitch on it. It's different. It's just very different. So, but I hope you guys had a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all the other holiday wishes right back out to you guys. If I look tired, I'm not tired. I'm just relaxed. And so I'm not hyper. I'm just relaxed. So, but yeah, good things are coming. So I hope you stick with me for yet another crazy year. There'll be more changes, of course. The focus of 2025 is going to be stitching my monochrome projects, my larger monochrome ones, and getting more of those done so that I can truly display like what I am doing. So, but I think that's about it. Voice is kind of going a little bit, getting a little hoarse. So Merry Christmas to you guys, or Happy Holidays, and I will see you guys really soon with another video.